Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. And we're starting here with the surprise announcement of a new state of play specifically dedicated to 007 First Light. So it's worth noting before we go over this, because I think some people are going to be wondering, like, is this it? Is this the big show or event that Sony's putting on for September? It's unlikely. This is something we've seen Sony do for a couple of years now. They do dedicated state of plays for bigger third-party titles, and Jeff Grubb did let us know last month that Sony has some type of an event, maybe a PlayStation showcase or a state of play scheduled for the end of September. So I'm just putting that out here because I think some people are going to see this and they're going to automatically assume, well, this is it. This is the big event. Obviously not. But they say here, prepare for a deep dive on 007 First Light. During this special state of play, the development team at IO Interactive declassifies new gameplay on James Bond's upcoming espionage action-adventure thrill ride. Catch the live show on PlayStation's Twitch and YouTube channels on September 3rd at 11 a.m. PT, 7 p.m. BST, and 8 p.m. CEST. Back at June's State of Play, we unveiled the game's reveal trailer, offering your first look at IO Interactive's unique take on Bond. In this upcoming State of Play, tune in for over 30 minutes of gameplay, featuring a playthrough of Bond's first mission as an MI6 recruit. The action includes everything from high-speed car chases to on-foot stealth sequences and shootouts. Stay tuned after the playthrough for insights from IO Interactive on this intense espionage gameplay. So there you go, 30 minutes of gameplay. Let me know what you guys think of this. Is this a state of play that you're excited for? I know that quite a few people are excited for 007 First Light, and so, yeah, this is something I'll be sure to tune into and see it for myself. But we're going to move on to the next topic, which talks about Lost Soul Aside, specifically the reviews. So if we take a look at Metacritic, there's only 9 critic reviews for Lost Soul Aside, and frankly, they're not very good. It's currently sitting at a 60 on Metacritic, and if you look at the user score, based on, as of the time of this recording, 230 user ratings, it's sitting at a 5.7. And generally speaking, what I've heard about this game is that the only really strong point is the combat. The combat can feel good, and it can feel fun to play, but almost every other area of this game seems to be lacking in one way or another. And a lot of people believe that the fatal flaw with this game is it being priced at $60, which is, you know, still pretty much a AAA game, right? A lot of people feel like it should have been maybe a $30 or $40 title, but even then, it seemingly wouldn't have overcome some of these shortcomings. Apparently, you know, you have to really be somebody who is in love with action-oriented games and gameplay, and you know, being able to pull off crazy combos in order to get some type of enjoyment out of this. That's what I'm hearing. So yeah, it's pretty disappointing overall. I mean, I still have to give Sony credit for sticking with this game and sticking by the creator. It's a game that was in development for 10 years, and it started out as an indie project, and they tried to rally behind it with the China Hero project. But yeah, it's unfortunate that it's not doing better than this in terms of reviews and overall reception. So let me know if it's a game you're currently playing and how you're feeling about it. Let me know if it's something that you were thinking about playing, but maybe now you're going to pass on. And also, just another reminder, there is a free demo for this game on the PlayStation Store. So if you're at all curious, you can check the game out for yourself. But talking about reviews for another game that I know a lot of people were looking forward to and anticipating, Hell Is Us, apparently has 32 critic reviews and is currently sitting at a 79 on Metacritic. As of right now, there obviously is no user score because it's not out yet, but the game is launching on September 4th, and generally speaking, it seems like the team here that made Hell Is Us pulled off a pretty solid game overall. The big thing with this title is that it doesn't give you really any guidance. It doesn't tell you what to do or where to go. You have to pretty much figure everything out on your own, including puzzles. And there is combat, and the combat seems to be somewhat Souls-like, but apparently it's done very well. And so, yeah, generally speaking, if Hell Is Us is a game that you were anticipating and looking forward to, it seems like it's going to be a solid game through and through, right? I mean, sitting at an 80 is pretty good, especially considering it's based on 32 reviews. We'll see if more reviews come out. Maybe that number could increase, maybe it could lower, but generally speaking, seems like we got another solid game on our hands here. But we're going to move on to the next topic, which is some more unfortunate news for Sony's upcoming live service title, Fairgames. This is a report coming from Push Square. They say Fairgames, one of the last remaining PS5 live service games Sony has in the works, lost its game director last month to WB Games Montreal. Daniel Drapeau confirmed his exit from Haven Studio after serving as game director for 4.5 years on the project. As of this week, I joined WB Games Montreal as creative director. I can't wait to start this wonderful adventure with all the great people here at the studio. He's been there since the beginning with Fairgames alongside founder Jade Raymond. She left the studio in May of 2025 following an internal test that raised concerns. This is what Bloomberg was reporting at the time. Lead developers come and go from video game projects all the time, but as part of Sony's troubled live service efforts on PS5, the optics surrounding the departure are not encouraging. Many of the first-party games as a service in the works at PlayStation have been canceled prior to their release or quickly taken offline in the case of something like Concord. Meanwhile, Bungie still plans to put out Marathon, but it has been hit with a wave of plagiarism accusations. For now, Fairgames remains in development publicly, but many feel the writing is on the wall for this co-op heist project. And so, yeah, I think it's safe to say that this game is not coming along well, and I have to really wonder if Sony is going to be canceling this game very soon. I would be quite surprised considering the development issues it's been running into, and especially because of the hard lesson that Sony had to learn with Concord, if they decided to continue to go through with this game. But there you go. I will continue to keep you guys updated. Moving on from that, though, we're talking about Marathon. This is being reported by Gaming Bolt. Bungie remains silent on Marathon following its last controversy and delay, and even Sony is unsure if it will arrive within the next fiscal year. Nevertheless, development is progressing, as invites have gone out for the third closed playtest and a 30-day user research study. Both are invite-only, with the former available from September 3rd to September 5th. The latter runs from September 8th to October 7th and will require participants to play 1 hour daily from 3 to 7 p.m. PST on weekdays and 2 to 8 p.m. PST on weekends. There will be a daily and weekly survey, and once the research study concludes, participants will receive a $500 gift card. If your playtime falls short, however, you will be compensated accordingly. So this is something that I do want to let you guys know about in case you're interested in seeing if you can participate. But yeah, Marathon's coming back. Bungie's going to be trying again. They're getting so serious about it that they're going to be offering $500 gift cards for playtests and studies and surveys, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out, because you can tell that they're doing everything they possibly can to try to save Marathon and make it a success. But I don't know, man. I don't want to be overly negative. I just don't have a good feeling about this game. I feel like this is just another one of these situations where it could have been good. It could have been something that could have worked out, but it's just, it's not living up to what people would have wanted. And I think the path forward for Bungie is ultimately going to have to be Destiny 3 in some way, shape, or form. Moving on from that, we're getting confirmation from Team Cherry regarding the price of Silksong. So there's actually an update to this article because there were multiple rumors, but it says, following this past weekend's leak, Knight Silksong developer Team Cherry has now confirmed the indie title's price point and release times for September 4th. The big thing that they confirmed here is the fact that the game is going to cost $20 US. There were multiple rumors and leaks citing this, and people were quite surprised by it. And so, yeah, this is a major title. This is a game that people have been waiting many years for, and the fact that it's only going to be $20, I think, is very very exciting for a lot of people. So there you go. Let me know how you feel about that $20 price point, and if you're going to be playing Knight Silksong. But moving on to the final topic of the video, we are pretty much getting Injustice 3 confirmed. We have well-known voice actors Phil Lamar and George Newbern, who voice Green Lantern and Superman respectively. They basically just confirmed that they met with both WB Games and NetherRealm Studios, and we're talking about Injustice 3 and how that's a thing that they're going to be part of. So Injustice 3 is something that's been rumored for some time, and the first two Injustice games were really good, I think, and people, I think, are expecting a third one. But what's going to be a little bit more interesting about this third Injustice game is, we have the whole DC Cinematic Universe reboot, and James Gunn is heading that, and he wants to be directly involved with the games and have these things kind of cross over. So I think that's going to make Injustice 3 a little bit more interesting, certainly different this time around. But there you go, pretty much confirmed that it's happening, and we just have to, I guess, wait for the official announcement. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.